This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's get to Twitter. We let you guys ask questions at Prichard Show. If you've got questions for next week's episode, which is Great American Bash 2005, well, you need to follow us on Twitter. That's simple. It's at Prichard Show. Next week, as I said, it's Great American Bash 2005, which went down on July 24th. The main event of that show is JBL versus Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. We've also got Rey Mysterio working with Eddie. And this is the famous thing where Guerrero's going to reveal a secret. Sorry. That's okay. Anyway, this undercard, something else here. Legion of Doom taking on Eminem, Booker T working with Christian, Orlando Jordan with Chris Benoit for the U.S. title, Undertaker and Muhammad Hassan, easy for me to say, for the number one contendership. The Mexicools working with the BWO. Can't believe that's a real thing. Melina and Tori Wilson. And as we said a minute ago, Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. The deal here is if Mysterio loses, Guerrero is going to reveal his secret on live TV. That's what we're doing next week. It went down in Buffalo, New York, July 24th, and it's going to be in your ear holes on July 24th, the exact 15-year anniversary. If you've got a question for us, go ask it right now at Prichard Show. And that's how you can stay involved in everything that we're doing. By the way, I realized we had a lot of ads this week. I want to remind you can get all of our shows early and ad free over at adfreeshows.com. You would have gotten this show at least a day early. And as we said, without any commercial interruption. So join us in all the fun we're having over there at adfreeshows.com. There's some great bonus content over there, including video of JR and Tony Schiavone doing some road trips together. And maybe my favorite new thing, Eric Bischoff blasting people who have fired off on him in shoot interviews. I'll play a clip of said shoot interview and then he responds. It's gold. It's called Eric Fires Back. We've got a couple of new fun things coming your way. Stay tuned over at adfreeshows.com. But without further ado, let's get to some Twitter questions that you guys had about In Your House number 2. All right, Bruce, number 1. And this is a fun question for us. Rajiv wants to know, was there a possibility of a second house giveaway, or was that more of a one-time thing? I do think a lot of people watch the second In Your House thinking, oh, they must be giving away another house.
Maybe that was the reason we gave away the first one. So put that subliminally in people's mind, but no, that was never a option.
Pender J wants to know, did you guys sell a lot of these event specific shirts? It seems like they're cheesy, but cool at the same time.
Not really, but we didn't make a whole lot of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
They were there, but there weren't a whole lot to be had.
Steve wants to know, did you know at this time the 2-hour concept was flawed regarding the $14.95 price point? I believe is what he's asking.
No, I don't think it was flawed. I just think it was different.
The Rosen Coaster wants to know, were pile drivers banned in the company at this time? I'm asking because Rhodey wound up executing one off the second rope on 1-2-3 Kid. That looks pretty scary to watch back. If not, was there any heat on him for doing such a move?
Not that I remember. I don't think that the pile driver stuff was a little bit later.
Machu Spanks wants to know, who dressed Mr. McMahon on this day and where did he get his wardrobe? You know, I understand what he's hinting at here. Does Vince have a personal stylist who prepares what he's going to wear on camera for him?
Yeah, that would just be Vince McMahon.
Okay. There you go.
You all know what's scary?
What's that?
Is my daughter just sent me a picture of Billy Gunn holding her at about, let me think here.
3 weeks ago?
That's not funny. She's about 4 or 5 months old on the beach in one of those wrestle vessels.
Oh, wow.
That's hilarious.
Rajiv wants to know, do you think this is Jeff Jarrett's best match during his run with WWE? I think it probably is. What say you?
I think it probably is too. It was incredible.
Brent says, we hear stories of Vince telling commentators what to say through the headphones during a pay-per-view, but when he was on commentary, who's giving him something to say? You sort of hinted earlier that you were in Gorilla. Would you have been giving him things to promote or little notes along the way, or who would have been in his ear, if anybody?
It'd usually be me.
Instagram or Wrestling Historian wants to know who would have won with Jesse James and Jeff Jarrett at SummerSlam 95 if they hadn't quit. I guess the idea is, would that have been the start of the feud or would that have been the blow off? Like, are they going to keep that thing going or do you think that would have been it?
No, we definitely would have kept it going. So, that probably just would have been the start of it. That probably would have gone to at least Survivor Series.
Rory wants to know, was there ever a consideration of adding a Russian like perhaps Nikolai Volkov to the team of Bulldog and Lex Luger and making it an allied powers with multiple countries represented?
Who's that from? Nikolai?
I don't think he's sending questions anymore.
Oh, okay. No. Yes, actually, yes and no. There was talk of just doing kind of an international deal, but never anything more serious than that.
Mike G wants to know, how did Paydays work for talent who were there just being lumberjacks on a card? I know that's way in the weeds, but that is a pretty good question, Bruce, because we've always heard that, man, the pay-per-view payoffs are what you live for. But if you're a lumberjack, I mean, yeah, you're kind of involved in the main event, but not really. How does that work?
I mean, you get paid just like any other day.
Well,
you get paid.
Bobby Salsa wants to know, and we got this a lot. Can you name one good lumberjack match? Thank you. Because a lot of people, and I'm not saying there isn't one. I think he's legitimately asking you, can you name one? Because a lot of people think this is perhaps the worst possible gimmick match, but I thought it worked in this instance. Where are you on lumberjack matches? And do you have a favorite?
I don't know that any one favorite stands out in my mind, but I do enjoy lumberjack matches when they're done properly.
Josh Clemens wants to know, what's the best part of the show and why is it Michael Hayes' description of the Rhodey Double J fight? I got to say, in hindsight, I do feel bad for our old pal Michael having to just pull some shit out of his ass here. Don't you?
Michael's used to pulling shit out of his ass, though.
Okay. On that note, we're going to wrap up this week's episode and we'll be back next week. We're excited to talk about Great American Bash 2005. Don't forget, you can get all these shows early and ad-free over at adfreeshows.com. Until next week, I am Matt. Hey, it's Conrad. He is stressed, tired, and sleepy, and we are out of time.
Hey!
We'll see you next week right here on Something to Wrestle with Bruce Prichard.
Rock on.
You gonna go take a nap now? Have a good day, buddy.
I'll holler at you later.
See ya. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.